Hey, yo, welcome or welcome back. This is now Dirty Spaces. This is now a channel of music and astrology, event planning, so on and so forth. If you've seen my last video, I explained a little bit about it. Of course, I'm going to do a video that's going to get into way more detail about it, especially when everything is more established. But again, I just wanted to start. Decided to start somewhere. Today, we're going to talk about music and money and astrology, art and money and astrology. So what are we looking at in terms of our astrological natal charts? Where can we look to see where money is coming in, how to make money, value, and things of that nature? Where we can look in our astrological charts to indicate where we can access our money, especially as artists. First house that I wanted to start off with is the second house. The second house, as we know, is ruled by Taurus. Taurus, as well as the second house, is the house and the sign that rules material possessions, what we value, our resources, our inner resources, as well as work and money and income and things of that nature. So we can look to see where in our astrological charts where our second house is, if we have any particular planets in that house, and how we can use that house and those planets to indicate what we can do in order to gain income, especially in these in this sign where it also rules, beauty and art. It's the more practical and the more earthly side of Venus. We can see what sign rules our second house, and especially if you have any planets in that second house, use that second house to bring in that income. For instance, if you want to use my own astrological birth chart, I have Aquarius in my second house. Aquarius is also where we can look at things that are kind of out of our ordinary, since Aquarius is such a rebellious sign. Traditional works or traditional jobs or traditional ways of income may not be best suited for me or for anyone that has Aquarius in their second house, especially with the generational planets such as Uranus and Neptune. So with this being said, look at that second house, see where that second house ruler is, see where any planets look into, and look deeper into your chart. So the next house that I wanted to highlight is the seventh house. The seventh house is ruled by our beloved Libra, which is the scales. Libra rules things also in the realm of beauty and art, mental and airy side of Venus. Libra also rules, as well as the seventh house rules, diplomacy, business partnerships in general. But in this case, we're going to highlight the business partnerships and who we get into contracts with, who we make business deals with, and the entities and the groups that we collaborate with and we balance with. So again, look in to see if you have any planets, any aspects, looking heavily into the sign that rules your seventh house. For me, my seventh house is ruled by Gemini, but I do have Venus and I have Mars in this particular house, and they're both in the sign of Cancer. So fourth house is also exuding in this energy, so the energy of the mom, the feminine, the moon aspect, so to speak. So our emotions, our inner emotions, as well as that intuitive mother-like nature, even our relationship with our moms, homely and domesticated aspects of our lives. With Gemini being in my seventh house, I might look towards partnerships or towards in this case business partnerships, or even work with entities and get into contracts or get into business with entities that understand the mental aspect or mental health. It can even be in the realm of public speaking, writing, or anything that Gemini rules. With this energy of Venus and Mars, I take this action and I add these aesthetical values the things that I value as a Cancer Mars and a Cancer Venus also is into play, because now not only looking into these partnerships from an emotional level, but I need to have that emotional connection to my work and into the social cause and into the people that I work with. So if I don't have that emotional connection, if I'm not emotionally connected to the outcome or to the cause, if I'm not emotionally connected, then, so to speak, I most likely will not thrive in this place. As well with seventh house, with this Libra energy, you do want to look into what you value when it comes to these relationships. So if you're a musician, if you're an artist, you do want to look in to see if it fits your brand. Libra is very so to speak, the trendy, brandy fashion, and they rule diplomacy. So you want to be able to utilize this energy to make sure you're making the right partnerships. You can even look into this house to see any tendencies that you may have when it comes to making these big term decisions, these long-term decisions, how much we want to sell our money to, send our money to, sell our art to. Even if you're the kind of artist or musician who is heavily an activist, what brands, speak to that for you. If you're a vegan, you don't want to basically partner up with a brand that sells meat, so look into what fits your brand, what fits you as an artist, as a musician. If it doesn't fit, then then what's the point? Last but not least house that I wanted to get into just to highlight income as an artist is our 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. With this house comes structure, it comes our reputation, our career, how we are viewed in the public eye. This is usually the house that people yes baby, this is usually the house that people look towards when they want to see what kind of career do I want to lean towards, what kind of reputation do I want to build. Yes, this also pertains to our 7th and our 2nd house, but the 10th house, it's really like a core foundation, I would say, to where we want to build ourselves in the world and how do we want to be perceived as artists. This is also indicates our long-term goals, and we're also looking at our public image. This could either be good or bad. Some artists, some musicians believe that not all press is bad press. If it's in the press, then it's doing its thing. Again, repeat it for the 3rd time. Look and see if you have any planets that are particularly in this house. I personally do not have planets in the 10th house, but my 10th house is ruled by Libra. This also vibrates the energy of art and beauty and diplomacy that I talked about with the 7th house. We can use this to not only set our foundation as artists, set our foundation for our careers, for our goals, but also we can look into this house to see where we may struggle and utilize that to propel ourselves as artists. So just to have a quick look in the current world events that are connected to us as artists and musicians, we can look at things such as the North Node and the South Node. Right now, and it's currently September 5th, 2023, as I'm recording this, the North Node and the South Node is currently on a Aries Libra axis. So with this being said, we are straying away from the Libra part of ourselves, which is with these partnerships and almost a kumbaya mentality, and we're stepping more into authority with our Aries and stepping more into individualism, which we can see with the current state of Hollywood. The current state of Hollywood right now, we are in a writer's strike. There are writers, there are directors, there are filmmakers, there are actors that are currently demanding and stepping into their power and asking for things such as simple as health benefits or actual paying jobs. We see the tables kind of turn now that people are kind of getting sick and tired of playing the background, and you see more people stepping into this power. You may also see, because of this Aries North Node energy, you may also see a lot of businesses in general, in corporations in general, but we're going to look at the music aspect of it. You may see a lot of new bosses, you may see people stepping down, and a lot of the underdogs stepping up, promoting this individualism, promoting this headstrong Aries, I'm gonna get it done, I'm the business owner, I'm the CEO energy. With Universal Music's division in China, they actually got a new boss, and China's actually in the top 5 countries of when it comes to music and when it comes to streaming, which also ties into what's currently happening as of September 4th with Jupiter now retrograding in Taurus. Now this is from September 4th to December 31st of 2023, and again, we talked about Taurus with our 2nd house, so we're looking into finding our own inner creative selves, getting our own resources so that we can build foundations for ourselves and for our creative endeavors. So with Jupiter now in Taurus retrograding, looking at our expenses and looking at our own resources and our own possessions, if you're in this realm of trying to figure out where you fit in as an artist, as a musician, we are also looking into our partnerships, who we are, financially in bed with, who are we looking to seek our contracts with or looking to get our partnerships with. But we're looking at this in a more spiritual level now with Jupiter, which is ruled by Pisces and Sagittarius, a more spiritual and a more broad perspective. So where can we look at our finances and our foundations on a spiritual level? What is your spiritual relationship and your personal relationship with money, especially as an artist? Are you the type of musician or artist that doesn't care about money, you just do it for the art, or do you want to get paid handsomely for your design? With this being said, I feel like we can also see a flux in business majors and business owners when it comes to the artistic side of our lives, because people want to be financially stable. People want to set their foundation and make sure that their homes are good before they outsource somewhere else. Jupiter, as well as Sagittarius, also rules our higher knowledge, higher learning. People want to learn how to, financially keep themselves intact. For artists, in particular, especially since Taurus rules that beauty and an art and an earthly aspect of life, it would be good for us as artists and musicians to maybe go back to school, take a class with financial literacy, but in the arts, learning how to do your taxes as an artist, tax write-offs as well. As an artist, you want to make sure that you are setting the right prices. You want to make sure you are not being undercutted for what you bring to the table. Let's use this Jupiter and Taurus energy to learn how to set our prices for our art and our music, for songwriters, for writers in general, for if you do anything in the arts, that goes for fashion, that goes for visual arts, that goes for graphic arts. Learn where your market is, learn how to set your prices. Maybe ask someone to mentor you, someone that has the knowledge to teach you and to mentor you so that you can be paid. I also wanted to interject right here because I did feel like I missed some things, and I wanted to say, with Jupiter retrograding in general, be mindful of false prophets, false people. Be mindful of drinking the Kool-Aid. There are people that will, go out of their way to scam you out of your money, scam you out of your, for your beliefs and for your values, which is upholded by Taurus in general. So just be mindful of your spending as well, because Taurus does rule our money. So if you are looking into any investments, broadening your assets, just be careful. Just again, with this Mercury retrograde as well, just be mindful of reading those contracts and look and see into the history of the companies or the people, even like the banks, and making sure you do your due diligence before you sign any contracts, before you financially agree to anything. You also will see a flux in opportunities when it comes to these in these spaces. So we might see more collaboration with foreign artists. We may see more musicians collaborating in the US with artists outside of the US. I do know that Latin American music is going up right now with artists such like Bad Bunny. The last time that Jupiter was in Taurus was in June 4th, 2011 to June 11th, 2012. And I did want to bring this up because I do find it funny that this is going viral right now with Kim Kardashian. But Andrea Bocelli, okay? He did a collaboration with Celine Dion and Tony Bennett in Central Park, which was a historical moment for music in that time. Also around this time, September 15, 2011, first of all, Adele, that's from the UK, she had us in a chokehold, okay? We was singing Adele. And someone like you was not only charting in the US, but charting in other countries such as France and Italy and all over the world. So we may see a flux with these foreign, these other artists are be foreign to us. But even if you live in another country, using artists from other parts of the world may actually benefit you in your music. So if you have any friends or anyone out of the country that you can collaborate with as an artist, this is a great time to not only look into that to collaboration with these artists, but also see if you can hit into these markets. So if your music is not doing really well in the US, see if your music can do well in Italy, see if your music can do well in China, see if your music can do well in Japan, anywhere. So this is a great time to look into these music markets in different countries. Shakira, who actually won the Latin Recording Academy of the Person of the Year in November of 2011. So again, Latin music is on and up right now. Like, it's already rising, but it's going to be so really, really, really big. Even on an artistic level, if we get outside of music, if we're talking about film and writing and TV, Homeland, which was like a huge show at the time when it came out in 2011, we may see more shows that hit on a more international level, or you may want to go write TV shows or write a movie or do a film in another country. That would be really beneficial for you, but also putting your art out into the world. So some takeaways from this, we can, as artists, definitely look into touring internationally. Touring not only brings a lot of money to artists, but internationally, I feel like right now is a great time to do that. Of course, we are also right now, currently as of September 5th, we are still in Mercury retrograde. So of course, you still have to do your due diligence and make sure these contracts, make sure these emails, and make sure everything is set up. There will be silly mistakes, but I do believe that Jupiter and Taurus will benefit you as an artist if you want to tour, especially internationally. Look into learning these aspects of the music business. If you learn these aspects, there are great programs that teach you this side of the music business, and it could really help you and benefit you. Even if you just take a class or two, like, it will really help you at this time. Also, please look into your pricing. Right now, as an artist, your pricing is everything. You want to get paid for the work that you do, for the skill set that you do. This is not a time to pay to play. This is not a time to undercut your prices for the sacrifice of all, because again, we are now in North Node and Aries. So now we are selfishly looking at, what can I get out of this? You know, we did it for the collective, we did it for the community, but now what can I get out of this? And there's nothing wrong with being selfish sometimes, because again, I feel like a lot of artists and musicians and anyone in this entertainment business, a lot of us have been, you know, undercutting ourselves. A lot of us have been taking one for the team. So now we're looking into, okay, what can I get out of this? How can I make more money from this? How can I live off of this now? Now I have to worry about myself, you know, and myself can also be myself and my family. So definitely look into these education programs, especially when it comes to our finances. Please be careful. Please be careful when it comes to these taxes. Make sure you are doing these taxes as artists and tax write-offs, because one thing Taurus don't play about is the money, okay? Because the money, they don't play about the money, okay? They don't play about food and they don't play about money, but they definitely don't play about money, okay? We also talked about going back to school and taking these classes, but if you can teach it, then teach it. Some of you may not be working artists, but you definitely can teach others the aspects of art, especially if you have made a living or you make a living off of it. It would be very beneficial for you and bring more abundance and growth to you if you teach other artists or other musicians not only how to, you know, expand on their art and dive into their creativity, but also how to make their money, how to make sure that they are setting their prices correctly. When artists find the confidence, find more of that individualism to make sure that they speak out and do what's right by them. I did want to pull out 2 little cards just for us, just for you. I shuffled these, I pulled out these cards. So one affirmation I have for you is present. Remember to remain present. In this present moment, I have nothing to worry about. I take life step by step as I follow my desires and intuition, joyfully overcoming any bumps along the way. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. So again, for us as artists, as musicians, or even if you're just watching this and you're not an artist, musician, or maybe you want to become one, just remember to remain present. Right now is not the time to, you know, worry too much about the future, because there are a lot of things in play. There's a lot of things in retrograde right now. So just kind of remain present in your art, remain present in yourself, and just stand firm. And with that, we have eclipse in Scorpio. Stand firm in the eye of the storm. Again, there is a lot of chaotic energy right now. Again, like with the writer strike, there's a lot of changes, there's a lot moving and shifting. But if you remain firm within yourself, you remain firm within your goals, remain firm in who you are as an artist, who you are as a person, everything will be fine. Okay. So regeneration. So things again are shifting, they're moving, they're changing, but it's all for the better. It's all for the good. Okay. Like I said, we're going to see new leadership. We're going to see new partnerships. We're going to see a lot of these new things. A lot of things are dismantling so that new can come. And this may hit home for you. This may hit home for you as an artist inside, because maybe you're not doing the same kind of art. Maybe you're not doing the same kind of medium. Maybe you want to change it up a bit. Okay, so just get present with yourself and see where it is that you want to go when the time comes. Again, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Please comment what you want to see from me. If you have any questions, I'll be so glad to answer. I love you, and bye.